In this video I want to give you a very quick introduction to DBIN, which is a poor man's package manager. And so this is a kind of joke description, but it's an easy to use, easy to get, suckless software distribution system which serves statically linked binaries. And in the default repository there are over 4,000 of these statically linked binaries. And there are also automated builds for Go and Rust. And it supports AMD 64, ARM 64 and RISC-V. So yeah, and this is what I've been using for more bloated programs that are also not in the default Alpine Linux repositories. So I thought I would share this program with you. Alright, so again, easy to use, easy to get, suckless software distribution system. So, I mean, it's really straightforward. You install this program, DBIN, and here's the help page, for example, and I'll show you in a second how to install it, how to use it, and all that stuff, and it will fetch these statically linked binaries for you and put them in your local bin. Alright, here's some examples, and if you scroll down, blah blah blah, here, getting started. So this is what you actually care about. So there's this script you can wget and then pipe into your SH, and this is kind of, I mean, yeah, you normally don't want to do this. Like, you normally first want to actually look at the script. So this is what I'll do right now. So let me switch to my shell. And if I paste that in, and let's not pipe that into SH, but into less to actually look at this shell script. So it's a shell script. It sets some destination variable. It checks for your architecture. So in here we have AMD 64 and ARM 64. I don't know why RISC isn't here. I don't know about that, because it said it would support RISC, but it's not here. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe maybe there's some other way to install it for RISC-V. All right. And then this is the actual like binary it will fetch. So and this here is the repository we just looked at. Then there is this releases page, latest, download, and then the actual like DBIN binary. And I don't know what this UPX is for. I don't know. So we handle the install option, maybe not. So if you pass this, it will get set, and otherwise it will shift, I think, the arguments. The arguments you give the program. Alright, there's this DBIN download DBIN function, and this will, well, download the binary and put it into the destination, into whatever destination variable is. And it will check for curl or for n4wget, and it will prefer curl. And if neither of them are installed, you'll get an error. Alright. Then it does some stuff here. It checks if the binary exists and is executable, and if so, it runs it. And otherwise it will first of all create the destination directory if it doesn't exist, and then it will call download DBIN, which we just looked at. And if the first argument is install, it will also make this binary executable and echo DBIN is not available. Alright, and I don't know why. Okay, I don't know what this is. Okay, yeah, I don't know. So this shell script is kind of, but it's not. What I want to say is it's not anything dangerous. So you can run it without, and this is the end, of course. So after this, there are no more lines. So you can run it without having to worry about it. So if we run this right here, so if we do this and pipe it into SH, and then with the install flag, and then we will pass simply my home and then into DBIN. So I have it in this directory I'm currently in. And if we do that, it will take a second, and then it will also run the program. I don't know why, because we passed the install option. So again, the shell script is a bit... But if we now run lsl with DBIN, it will show us, okay, DBIN is a binary and it's here in this directory, and yeah. And if we run file on it, we will see it's a normal statically linked Go binary. So yeah, very nice. Alright, so if you now actually run this, we will get the same help message that is also on this README right here. And again, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. To install a binary, you call install. To remove it, you call remove. To list binaries, you call list. But I don't think this actually, like, this hasn't worked for me. I don't know why. To search, because it will give me, like, we can try this. Oh no, it will list all of them. oh, for some reason, back when I tried it a few days ago, it would error out and tell me, well, there are too many binaries, you need to limit the number of binaries to show or something. But great that it works now. Okay, so we can search for something. For example, something that is given as an example in this README, somewhere up here, I think, maybe, is search editor. So if we do this, we will get a bunch of output and a bunch of editors. So, and you can, of course, now look through these and whatnot. I want to install, let me think, I want to install something. Let's install, I don't know, micro. I don't know what that is, to be honest, but I will simply install it by calling DBIN install micro. And this will install the micro editor, and we will find out what that is. So great, it's done. And if we now lsl local bin, and let's actually LTR that, we will see that there's a micro binary. And if we, so this is the micro binary, and if we file that, we will see it's an executable, statically linked. Great. All right. And we can now run this, of course. We call micro, and it gives us some editing thing. Okay, how do I exit out of this? Okay, to quit, press Q. Okay, great. So we're out of this. This was kind of weird. So I want to uninstall this. So what I will do is I will call dbin, and you can either call del, but so for some reason you can't do delete. Why not? But you can do remove. So yeah, and it has been removed. So if I now try this again, no, try the directory. I mean, yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. And micro now wasn't actually like statically linked binary, but it also serves app images, for example. So if I look at my Chromium build, this is an app image, even though it says it's even though well, technically it's an like statically linked binary, I guess, but it's an app image. So you can also extract this and stuff like that. And I've done that. But you can also just run it as an app image. And if you're on Alpine like me, you can, and you are having trouble running app images, you need to install Fuse 3, I think it is. Fuse 3. Yeah, do this APK and add Fuse 3, and then call modprobe. Yeah, do this modprobe Fuse. And you can also add this to your modules. So right here I have Fuse, but that's just for app images. So, all right. Yes, and I think that's pretty much it. To update all your binaries, you just call dbin update, and yeah, they get updated automatically. So it's really great. And I think that's pretty much all there is to it. I mean, you can also call dbin run to run your binaries or whatnot. And there are also like configuration options, and you can have you can add more repositories and all this kind of stuff. And there are like flags for silent or verbose or whatnot. But I mean, that's kind of the basics of it, I think. And as you saw, I mean, it's really simple. And this is really great, I think. I mean, it's great to just be able to get like software, especially bloated software like Chromium, from a separate repository without like having to jump through hoops if it's not in the default repository of your distribution. And especially something like Chromium or like any browser, to be honest, I much prefer this way of using an app image or a statically linked thing instead of having to install like 300 packages from my package manager just so I can run this browser like with dynamic linking. Like, you know what I mean? Because a browser is so bloated, there's just so much stuff. I mean, I would rather just have it all contained in this huge like 300, like what is this? Let me see, like 380 or something. Yeah, 370 megabytes binary. I mean, it's fine. So, but everything is contained in here. So that's what I think makes this really great. All right, so I think that's pretty much all of it. I mean, you can read through this. I will link this in the description and on my website and whatnot. And there are also info, like you can also get info on like, yeah, packages or binaries. And there's a bunch of stuff here. And you can also like install different versions of them. Yeah, like you can install a specific, or you can specify the snapshot you want to get and stuff like that. And all this kind of stuff. And yeah, clearly superior. But yeah, I think that's the basis of it. So yeah, that's it. Have a nice day.